Hello and welcome. This is It's Always About Love, and I'm life coach Lee Evans. I'm here with psychotherapist Lynn Lara. Lynn has been in private practice for many years, and today she brings all of that experience and wisdom to help you. We are here to answer your questions. It's our desire to help you and make what you learn from this podcast usable in your life right now. Do you have a concern, something that's troubling you? Send an email to its always about love, the number 1 at gmail.com. Now, let's get started. Are you there, Lynn?
You know that I'm here. You know that I am. You just always act because you think that's what you should do. See, Lee, now if we were not able to speak back and forth, we would have just missed that brilliant exchange. Oh, shoot. And that brings something up that I need to talk to you all about, because our people who do our podcast, who do the podcast, are telling us that our voices don't do something right with each other. So they will either have it fixed at the end of this month or another month after that. And I'm going, no. I said, no, I don't want to do that, Lee, because I like it that we speak and argue and and love each other back and forth. I like that. And I hope that you do too. So I don't want to just do my part, have Lee do her part. So what that means, though, is that we may end up being on YouTube, you guys, and we have so many of you. I wish that you would write to us, and except maybe it costs you a lot of money to send something to the United States, but we don't want to lose you. It's been a real privilege having you. And we get so excited when we read one more country. It's exciting. So we don't want to let you go. And I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. We'll see. But I'm letting you know what is going on.
Yes.
Right, Lee? Is that okay?
Yes.
Did I sort of hit it right? Okay. Because I'm not sure I understand all of it, but I just didn't want us to stop. I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to stop, you guys. We love you. Okay, Lee. Are you going to read the letters we've gotten?
No, you're going to read.
I'm going to read it? Really?
Because
how come?
I like listening to you read.
Oh, sure. Come on, tell the truth. That is not.
It's true.
I
like listening to how you read.
Yeah, well, it's things that I haven't even read. Okay, we're not going to argue with you in front of you, all of you, just to prove that we can do it. Never mind. I will read. Lucky Lee, I'm going to read. Okay. To start off, my boyfriend and I have been together for almost 2 years. He's a really friendly guy. So friendly. Oh, so friendly that women think he's flirting. Honey, listen, I haven't read this. If women think he's flirting, he's flirting. Sorry, that's the way it is. Over the past several months, I've been feeling that he has a crush on his roommate's girlfriend. We all used to live together. While I was there, I was depressed for other reasons most of the time. His roommate's girlfriend is one of those girls that's really friendly to everyone and is always in a good mood. Over time, I noticed, do you like the way I'm reading this, Lee? I just thought of you. Lee, you're a cheater. Oh, God. Okay, I'm back. Over time, I noticed that my boyfriend would mention her name in a conversation often, or if we were driving up to the apartment, he would say, "Is that Julie?" walking or driving past us. He also mentioned once, I think Julie, I just gave her a new name, gets nervous around me. With all of this, I have a gut feeling that he has a crush on her. While I was depressed, I wasn't as social or interactive with him. Oh, darn it, Lee. You did this to me today. Interactive with him as usual. Do you know what's IDK? What does that mean? I don't know. It's some voice. God, I quit today. Okay. I don't know if this had something to do with it. What do you think? Okay, Lee. What do you think?
You got me.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha, Lee.
I like what you said. You
I
said
didn't say
if
anything.
women think he's
Go ahead.
flirting, he's flirting.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That is
He's
very
flirting.
interesting.
Well, I don't like it because it happens a lot.
But
yes.
That was a good
Yeah.
statement you made. And
Okay. Thank you, Lee.
I'm thinking that he probably is interested in her. And he probably is, because she's someone that is flirty. She's flirty, sounds like friendly with everyone. So I think he is interested. So she's asking, what do you think? That's what I think.
Yeah, she's asking what we think too. But what she'd like to know is what to do. So I just took it a step further. Darn it. You know, flirting, yes, maybe not tremendously heavy-duty flirting. I'm going to call you Jan. Not real, maybe not real heavy-duty flirting, Jan, but flirting. So, I don't know. You didn't say whether, if he is flirting, will you stay in the relationship or not? Been together almost 2 years. He's a really friendly guy. Yep. Yeah, nobody wants to live with somebody who's flirting. Okay, I'm just trying to make things work out, and I'm wrong. Look, you don't want to be with somebody who flirts. What are you going to do, Jan? Are you going to talk about it with him? Have you talked about it with him? Tell him that you talked to your two best friends, Lee and Lynn, and that we think that he is flirting. And and tell him what it's like for you, honey, because it's not good for you. It will never be good for you. I was just trying to, kind of pass it over and say, oh, it's not that big a deal. It is, and it needs to stop. So, and you need to decide if it doesn't stop what you're going to do. But both Lee and I agree that your boyfriend is flirting, and that's a really hard thing to live with. There are some women who do live with that and are able to do it. And if you are one of those women, Jan, then, more power to you. So, could you live with it, Lee?
I was thinking about that as you were saying that. And I think, no. No, I don't think I could. Because
Why?
I basically had already lived through that. And I put up with it. Well, maybe the word's not put up with it. I allowed it for a while. And then I just realized, no, I'm not putting up with it. I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. But I didn't have a talk, like you said. I just said, stop or go.
Oh. Well,
Oh,
that's having a talk. What did he
he never
say?
stopped.
He didn't say
No, he
anything?
says, what? He said, basically, I'm not doing that.
Okay. Okay. And then he kept on
No, I
and then
made
you
him.
left? Okay, that's okay. And so did he understand that you believed that he was still flirting?
I think he thought I was crazy. I was making something making
Oh,
something out of nothing.
okay. Listen, that of course, of course. And I'm so glad that I pushed you, Lee, because this is something that Jan needs to hear. What a boyfriend who is a flirt usually does is say, "It's you. I'm not doing this. It's you. Get it together. I wouldn't flirt with anybody, blah, 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 blah." And you know deep down inside that that he is flirting. And that whatever it is keeping you also from making a deep commitment to your relationship. So you have a right to be with someone, Jan, who is a person who is faithful and cares about your feelings over anyone else's feelings. You have a right to that, honey. You do. Everyone does. Okay? Okay. Love you. Thank you for writing us. Please write again. And because we'd like to hear from you, we'd like to hear how it's going. Just bring it out in the open, and you decide whether you can continue on in a relationship where he's denying that he's flirting, because he's going to deny it, and whether you can live with that, knowing that possibly he's not going to go with anybody else. It's been 2 years, although you're feeling uneasy about his best friend's girlfriend, right? Yeah. So, honey, good luck to you. This is not good. It hurts. You just decide what you want, and never, never, never think that you're too old to find somebody new. I don't know where that came from. I think that was somebody else's email last week. I'm ready now, if you are, Lee, to for you to read this
Okay,
second letter.
here we go. I need.
Were
I'm
you
done.
done
That
with
was.
that, babe?
It was good. It was good.
Okay. Okay.
I need relationship advice. I've been with my girlfriend for a little over 6 months, and now she seems so moody. She seems to think we have so many problems. How can she go from being so nice to hating everything I do? What happened?
Wow. What do you think, Lee?
Uh,
Jeez.
she's so moody.
Okay. No, no, no. Hey, she
You
needs
think
to
that's
go to
what it
the
is?
doctor. Well, something's going on. She seems to think we have so many problems. How can she go from being so nice to hating everything I do? That isn't it. Something's going on
You
inside of
think?
her. I betcha. I betcha.
Hmm.
Sorry, I just jumped in on you because I went,
Mm-hmm.
wait, this is sad. Okay. Except it takes about 6 months to get through the honeymoon period. So you guys are out of the honeymoon period now. But you know what? I give her the benefit of a doubt. And I would say, honey, you are so moody. Are you okay? I worry about you. And I think you need to go to the doctor, see if you're okay, and uh, maybe he or she can give you some meds for it. And if you want me to go with you, I'd be happy to because I love you and I care so much about what you're going through. Okay.
I think
What do
that's
you think,
good.
Lee?
Then I was thinking about, like you said, I think the honeymoon phase, that maybe she's got to a point where
Yeah.
whatever she liked, the things that she liked, she now doesn't like. Is that a possibility too?
hmm Sure, it is. And it is a possibility that you guys aren't going to make it. You've been together for 6 months and you're not going to make it. But let's try. Try and see if she'll go to the doctor. See if something's going on. Or you can go see another counselor. You go see a counselor and see if they have some suggestions about what might be going on with her. So you've got three things. One, it can be the honeymoon's over. But two, it can be that you might find out if she's gone through this moodiness before. Have you guys talked about it? Ask her if she was moody in her last relationship. And three, it may be just that she may want out of the relationship. And I hope that if the two of you can be together and that it's a good relationship, that you're able to stay together.
So we've got four.
Yeah.
Four.
What do you think?
Four.
We have
Doctor. The
four
doctor's
what?
number 4. The number
Oh,
2, you said
yeah, okay.
moodiness. Has she been
Yeah.
moody before? He could actually go say we're going out, I'm taking you out somewhere special or something, and actually have a sit down over like a meal and maybe try bringing up the subject to find out if maybe this moodiness is a trend, or to find out what she says.
You know what? Lee's right. I really like what Lee just suggested, which is that you do it in public. Bring it up in public.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hear you saying, Lee. And what she's more likely to do is give honest responses rather than getting angry.
That's good.
No, you're the one who did it. Yay.
Well,
Good
thank you.
advice, babe.
I was just thinking about that though, because he's talking about him, and we're making suggestions that she might need to go to the doctor, but he hasn't really said that he's talked to her about
Mm-hmm.
anything to do with this. So,
All right.
and he might think she's hating everything. It might be the way he's seeing it, because sometimes they think if you just say one thing, it's everything. It's all or nothing sometimes. Okay.
I want to ask something too. I want to know this. Tony, I'm going to call you Tony. Tony, is this the same kind of relationship you were in the last time or several times when you've been with other women? Have they been the same way, which is moody, and do you feel like they just don't like how you are? And if that's true, if this is about you, then then you're needing to think about the kind of woman that you are choosing. And that means parents and your child, your inner child. That means how were you raised, Tony? Who is your girlfriend most like? Oh gosh, I'm going way off, but it's true. Your mother or your father who used to nothing you did was right or good enough. Got it, Tony? So, it may be that it's your problem and not theirs. You may be. Okay, now we got 5 or 6 things that might be so that you're needing. That your child, your little boy inside of you, Tony, is trying to work out the pain of the past. And if that's true, you can't do it with another woman who's most like the parent who judged you, Tony. Go back and find our other videos, our other podcasts about the inner child, and you'll get it. Because what you're needing to do is take care of the little boy that lives inside of you and chooses people or feels judged by everyone in a negative way. And you begin to love that kid. Tony, I promise you, I've done it with so many men, great big athletes. I promise it's true. And big men who were the head of the Hells Angels and things. And they all changed. So if this is your problem and you are picking women, and you'll know that by understanding that this isn't the first woman you've been with who's been like this. Okay? That you pick them. My hunch is that that's true too. So the only way you're going to get through that, Tony, go back and listen to our podcasts. Do you know when the last one was?
It hasn't
when we
been that
talked
long
about
ago.
the inner child? No. And it'll say something about the inner child.
I'm looking at the episodes right now. It actually says inner child. Healing your inner child.
Okay. Tony, don't think it's silly. I promise I've dealt with men who are big and ferocious, and they needed this kind of work. And you know what? Let's just say it's your problem instead of your girlfriend's. I like that. Go start working on your little boy inside. Will you do that, Tony? We care about you. I just wasn't expecting it to answer this, to end up this way, but I think that this is right. You take care of it inside of you first. Okay. I'm glad that you wrote, Tony. We love to get letters from you guys. You guys. Yep, because we care about what you're going through. And we know that it's harder for men and fellows to talk about your fears, your problems, than it is for women to do that. And that's simply because that's the way we're raised. Women are raised, girls are raised to talk about their feelings. Fellows, on the other hand, are taught to clam up. I'm so glad that you wrote to us, and you're focusing on your girlfriend. I want you to focus on you. Just try it, Tony. Look at the past programs we've done on the inner child healing. Okay. And I guess what I'm thinking about, I was at Soledad Prison. That ought to, you know them in there. And in California. Those guys got really, really honest and let the hurt out that they simply had never been given what they honestly needed when they were little boys. I was thinking today, because, what was it, Pelican something or other. It's the heaviest duty, that's bad English, prison in the state of California. It's where they put all the gangbangers, all of the men who have been in gangs. That's where they put them, is at Pelican Prison. And I met a guy on the street. He was on he had his bike, he had his backpack on his bike, and I was on my way to audition for America's Got Talent. And I just stopped and talked to him. And lo and behold, he said, I got out of Pelican Prison yesterday. I didn't know that Pelican Prison didn't exist when I was a therapist in California. So I was amazed. At least I don't think, I just never heard of it. But he was a really nice guy. I took him with me. I don't think you probably ought to do this. I took this guy who was fresh out of Pelican Prison to where I was auditioning at, just across the street in this huge, enormous building. And I gave him some money. He said, I didn't ask you for this. And I said, I know, I just want to give it to you, honey. I want you to be okay. I want you to have a good life out of here. So this morning, was it on Good Morning America? Someplace they were talking about Pelican Prison and how serious it was. My not knowing how serious it was a blessing, because all I wanted to do was just be a good person.
Well, I got a tidbit of information for you about Pelican Bay Prison. Pelican, and it's the only supermax state prison in California. And Charles Manson was there at one time. That's what it says.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they know what they're talking about. I saw at Soledad Prison, I saw the man who killed Robert Kennedy. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Wow.
What a horrible thing to have done.
Yes.
To kill somebody so innocent.
Wow.
Sirhan was his name. But something about when I walked into the prison, I was with the warden, and he was up above, on the floor above me, like you see, their cells are all toward the outside. That doesn't make sense to you. But anyway, he was standing there, and we locked eyes, and there was quite a connection. I mean, it was there, and it was spiritual, but that was... But nothing ever happened from that.
Wow.
It just was a spiritual connection. Yeah. Anyway, well, I care a lot about men and women who go to prison. It's a terrible thing. But they all commit crimes to get there. The men that I worked with, the prison when I was there at Soledad had about an 85% recidivity rate, which means about 85% of them went back to prison. But the men who were in the groups, Tony, this is for you. The men who were in the groups that I did there had about a 40% recidivity rate. Hope I'm saying that right. Return rate, which is very low, to cut it down by more than half. So good. So it worked. Working on the inner child. That's what I'm telling you, Tony. It'll help you.
No, we're
okay.
good.
Are we? Have
And
I gone
I want
over?
to thank Jan and Tony for writing in. And we will be back tomorrow, Tuesday, and 5 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, remember, it's always about love, and we love you. We do. Mm-hmm.
Yep,
and I love Lynn,
we do.
too. Okay. Good night,
and
everyone.
I love you, too.